Peace, 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 love, prosperity, abundance, self-love, self-care, wisdom, knowledge, patience, understanding, understanding, Western standing, all the four corners of the earth standing, and grand rising, and grand rising, and grand rising, and grand rising, and we are rising to the top. Family, how y'all doing? I hope each and every one of you is doing great. I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy day, your busy schedule to watch my videos. I am detoxing, I'm losing a little weight. You can always tell my cheeks is going down a little bit. Yeah, for 30 days. This is the second week. Okay, hold on. Last week? Oh no. This is the second week. So I got 2 more weeks. By then, I could tell my titties is going down a little bit, my belly is going down a little bit, my ass is going down a little bit, cheeks is going down a little bit. I have to cleanse. I gotta elevate to the next level on my spiritual journey. Now, family, I know, man. We've all been programmed, all of us, right? And I never quite understood this, but it really hit me when I started my awakening. But I would say maybe 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So when I go to the hospital, when I go to a meeting, like any interview, like any place that I have to go, and you have to sign in and wait for your name to be called or get called, they never address me by my name. They never address me by my name. I don't know if society want me to become a man. They want me to change my gender and become a man. I don't know. Okay? But they are forcing this man thing on me. And I am sick of it. I know you're wondering, what is she talking about? A woman, right? A woman doesn't have any identity. We don't have any identity. I'll give you an example. Princess Lynn, right? Princess Lynn. If I go to the hospital or if I go somewhere and they got to call my name, Mrs. Lynn, they're not going to call me, they're not going to refer to me as Princess. Let me give you an example. My name is Judy Emmanuel. My name is Judy Emmanuel. They will call me Mrs. Emmanuel. My father's name is Emmanuel. But I'm not a man. I'm a woman. I'm a girl. Call me Judy. Call me Mrs. Judy. Why are you calling me Mrs. Emmanuel? I am not a man. Right? So when a girl is born, her whole life, she will be referred to as her father. Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Emmanuel, Mrs. this, Mrs. that. She's never referred to by her name, her own identity. Never. And then when she gets married, then the husband will tell you to remove your father's last name. Take your father's last name and throw it out. And take his father's last name. What? This is disrespectful. I don't know your father. Your father didn't impregnate my mother. So why do I need to take my father's last name? My father's DNA runs through me or runs in me. My father's blood is in me. But you telling me to take my father's last name and put your father's last name. So fine. I got married to Mr. Johnson. So now I'm Princess Johnson. We've removed the Lynn. We put Johnson. I go to the hospital. Hey, Mrs. Johnson. All I'm trying to say, I am sick and tired of society referring to me as a man. I don't got balls. Neither do I got penis. I'm Princess Lynn. Call me Princess. That's my name. I want to have my own identity. Stop identifying me as a man. I'm not a man, okay? This is why this whole transgender thing is happening. You people have been confusing these children since they are born. You have been calling us men name. And now we reach to a certain level, we don't want to be women anymore. We want to be men. Do you see how they program us subconsciously? Have you ever seen a man? Like, I have a son, okay? So if my son's name is Muhammad Johnson, Muhammad is his name. Johnson is his father's name. Why can't I give him my last name? I can. Right? Fine. Why is it that when my son go to the hospital, you don't refer to my son as Princess? Why you don't refer to him as Mrs. Princess? But you refer to my son as Mr. whatever the last name is. But me, you refer to me as a man. Do I look like a man to you? So this is what I do when I go to the hospital. Anywhere that any place I go, I have to sign my name. I'll put my first name and I'll put my last initial. That's what I do. Yeah, don't refer to me as a man. You're going to call me Princess. Okay? If my name is Judy, you're going to call me Judy. Do you understand? Because the judgment day, when you die, there's nobody going to say, Mrs. Johnson. You ain't Mrs. Johnson. You are your first name. That's you. Your first name is you. I'm tired of society like blacking women. Y'all want to see us as men. I'm not a man. Don't call me Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Emmanuel, Mrs. whatever, Muhammad. Don't call me none of that. Call me my name. So that's what I do when I go to the hospital. When I go anywhere, I put my first name and I put my last initials because I have to make them call my name. If I put my first and last name, they will call me by my last name, and I get very upset. Sometimes I'll forget and I'll put both names, and they will refer to me by a man's name, and I'll tell them that I'm like, excuse me, can you call me by my first name? And they're like, oh, okay, because they don't know why we have been programmed to call men men, but to call women men. Don't refer to a female as a man. I'm not a man. I'm not Mrs. Emmanuel. Why is it that when I get married, my husband don't become Mrs. Princess, but I have to become Mrs. Emmanuel or Mrs. Johnson or Mrs. Adam? Why? I have to take his last name so society will know that's my husband. Why don't he take my last name so society will know that's I have to take his last name so society will know that, oh, I'm the wife. But why can't he take my last name so society will know that this man is also my husband? Why? I hope what I'm saying makes sense, right? If I get married today and my husband's name is Johnson, I'm going to be Princess Johnson, right? So why is it that he can't take my last name and become Lynn? Why can't he take my last name? I want everybody to know when they hear the last name, they will know, oh, this is Princess' husband. Just like when you hear Mrs. Johnson, they will say, oh, this is Mr. Johnson's wife. Why can't it be like that? And then on top of it all, you want me to be okay identifying as a man. Don't call me by a man. I'm not a man. Call me by my name. Yeah, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm sick of this world, okay? I'm sick of the world being upside down. I'm sick of it. I came here with my own identity, and I'm going to leave this planet with my identity, okay? And if I get married, I'm keeping my father's name. I'm never going to disrespect my father. No. If you can't, don't ask me to marry you because I don't care. I really don't. I know you're going to watch this video and think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I came here as a woman, and I want to be identified as a woman. Don't call me Mrs. a man's name. Don't call me a man's name. I don't appreciate that. So yes, when I go out, I put my first name and my last initial. I will force you to call me by my name. Don't refer to me as Mrs. another man's name. No. If somebody out there that has ever thought about this, please let me know. Because I know deep down my heart, I ain't the only person that think like this. And then y'all get mad when these women want to be transgenders. Y'all be referring to us our whole life, man. We never have identity. Women don't have identity. We don't. You have your father's last name, you get married, you take your husband's father's last name. Your whole life you will be known as a man. No. Give me my name. And those of you that get readings, if you married and you go see a psychic and your name is Princess Lynn, but you got married and your name is Princess Johnson, when you go get a reading, you don't give Princess Johnson because Johnson is not your name. You have to give your birth name, which is Princess Lynn. That's the name you have to give to get a reading. Let that sink in. I just want us to wake up.